Hi, my name is Heidi. I'm Whips and Kits here on Flosstube and on Instagram, and I'm doing a whip parade today. I'm starting over because my phone told me I was out of storage and I had to go through some and delete some stuff. So I can't even believe it. I have like the next level up. I have like 256. Is it meg or it's gig, right? Yeah, I don't even know. So anyway, I have a lot of storage. My husband's going to be disgusted. Okay, so I'm going to start with the my Mark II whips. These are whips that I have on scroll rods, so I can work on them on my Mark II frame that I got from Evertotes. So first is Heartstring Samplery. This is Consider the Lilies, and I am using flosses that they recommended in their book. And I'm stitching this on, what is it? Flax, 40 count flax that I over dyed. And I'm so sorry, I'm gonna have to duck down here to get my whips because I have a lot of whips, okay? I love all my whips, but I got a lot of them. Okay, this is Consider the Lilies. Oops, I have a dangling thread. And this is what I have done here. Consider the Lilies. I have gone all the way around on the bones, which is what I like to do. When I don't do that, I just feel like something's not right. So that's 40 count flax, and that's what I have done there. Next is Eleanor Parr. Eleanor Parr is this by the Scarlet Letter. This is one of my favorite whips. This is not the flosses that I'm using. I am using a floss conversion from the attic, mostly Gloriana. It is just lovely. And I am stitching this on 37 count Wild Honey by Legacy Linen. That was recommended by someone there, and it really does look great on this linen. This is what I have done so far. I've gone around the corner. And this is what I have done of the birds. I'm going across this way right now. This is what I have on my scroll frame right now. I like to have a whip on my scroll frame for a month, and then I work on it in that month. This is what I've got on my scroll frame now. I have not worked on it this month at all. I've been working on other things, finishing other things, and I'll show you that on my next Flosstube update. Okay, so that's Eleanor Parr, one of my favorites. And then the next scroll rod whip I have is GGR, the Rose Wreath Sampler. I just saw Kindred Stitcher show this on her Flosstube, Lisa the Kindred Stitcher. She is just my stitchy aesthetic all the way around, that's for sure. And I'm using the original floss recipe, except Lisa tweaked it a little and I copied her. She had such good ideas. I'll show you. There it is. And I believe this is vintage buttercream, 40 count. I have the bones of the border done, and then I worked on this part here. This flower was originally supposed to be a brownish color, but I saw before I had stitched it, Lisa said on her channel that she was not going to stitch it. She stitched it in pink. So I am using claret and antique rose for those. I think that's what those are, those colors. So I just alternated them where it called for. I just kind of free-formed it a little bit as well. And it turned out really nice, I think. I like that. And then I did the same thing that she did on these flowers here as well. She is alternating claret and antique rose as well. So I really like that because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. So I did the same thing as she had done. Next is Charlotte Warrington. And this is a chart from a Facebook group that I can never remember the name of. I'm not even going to try. I got it from Colorado Cross Stitch. I ordered it in the DMCs. And then when they got here, I wanted to use the overdyes that I already had in my possession. So I did that. So I am using some of the original Weeks Dye Works that it calls for. But then back here, I have a mixture of Histoire d'Alain, which is a French dyer. You can find her on Etsy. I love her floss. That's the name of her. I bought her whole collection. Or I didn't buy it. My husband and daughter bought it for me for my birthday one year. And then this is Carriage Black for $3.10. Roxy Floss Co. This is for $400. Isn't that a beautiful rust color? I love that. And then I'm using a color in cotton, Mesquite, for $7.32. For $7.39, I'm using this Roxy Floss Co. color. This is for $8.07. Isn't that a beautiful blue? I just love overdyed cottons. And Roasted Chestnut for $8.69. Green with Envy is for $9.36. $9.50 is $9.50. I think that's one of the only DMCs that I'm using. This is a Histoire d'Alain mystery linen. Slate for $30.72. Sorbet for $33.54. Espresso Bean for $33.71. Oh, nope, I'm using $38.66. This color is really hard to replicate, and I love it. This is a nice color. Who recently talked about that on their Flosstube? It's like a gray-white. I forget who, but I know I saw someone talking about it. $38.66. Was it the Tattooed Stitcher, Jordan? I think it was. Anyway, Charlotte Warrington, I'll show you what she looks like now. I'm sorry I went through all that floss. I just wanted to show you that you don't have to always use the called for. You can substitute whatever you have in your little stash. So Charlotte Warrington, this is on the Mason linen, and it's 46 count. That's not it. Heidi is Silly, and it's medium light Mason linen. Oopsie. It's very unwieldy to show these. I'll show up close first. Isn't it so pretty? I just love the overwand birds and the antenna. I did flip these flowers around. I made a copy. I took a picture of it and flipped it in my phone and then made a copy of it. And stitched it that way. And that's all the further I am. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. This is my Mirabilia. Love her. Look at her. Isn't she pretty? This is The Snow Maiden by Nora Corbett. I am stitching her with Country French Rain 32 count, and that is what they say to stitch it on. I went rogue after I kitted this one up, but I really do like the linen. I like the Witchelt linen. It's really nice and soft. This is the colors, purples and blues, and these silks. They're so pretty. I really love it. I'm going to work on this in March, all of March, this Mira. I love Mirabilia. I didn't know when I first started stitching if I would be into this or not, but I am into it. I tell you what, it is so pretty. So this is her beginning of her dress. I am stitching this one thread over 2 threads. 1 strand of floss over 2 threads. And that's not how this is called for. It's called for 2 over 2. But I think this coverage is lovely. Just lovely. I love it. I am going to do over 1 for her skin. So we'll see how that looks. I'm trying to work my way up there through the middle of the dress there. This is just one side of her dress. And now that I have her on scroll rods, I can start beading as well. But I'm a little chicken to start that. I think I want to, though. I might as well start, right? Hot dog. So this is going to be my project in March. That's what I say. I never follow through with my plans. When I say I'm going to do it, I'm not able to do it usually. So, yeah. That's my Mirabilia. Okay, the next is, oh, I don't have the cover for this, but this is a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. We've all seen that, right? That project. I don't know why I didn't copy the front cover, but I looked in here before and I wasn't able to find it. So anyway, I don't have it. I am stitching this using Vicki Clayton silk, hand-dyed floss. And it's just a beautiful conversion. Really great colors. And I am stitching this on, let me look, 38 count linen, I believe. 37 or 38 count, some blue linen. From Legacy Linen. I could look it up, but I'm not gonna. And I just started this because I wanted to see how the coverage was with hand-dyed floss. Because it is a thinner silk and the coverage is good. I want the coverage to be good because I'm stitching the whole background. I'm stitching the whole background on this. So yeah, that's all I've got on this one, but I wanted to put it on a scroll rod in case I wanted to slap it up there and stitch on it. And then the last one I have on scroll rods is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. This is that chart. And this is Carriage House Samplings. I'm using the DMC flosses. And I took off the floss that I'm using for the section that I'm stitching. And these are the flosses for the section that I haven't, sections that I haven't started yet. And I'm working on the middle section. I am really poking along on this. I am just so slow. This is Heartland, 40 count Heartland by Picture This Plus. I have one witch done, and the pot done, and all the poisonous gas done. And look, a little frog and a bat. And the flames. That's it. So I've got a lot to do on this. I think Halloween is just one of those things that I only devote so much time to. I could work on Christmas all day, every day of the year, but not so with Halloween. And I store my scroll rods in this pillowcase in a little stand-up corner. A little stand-up like umbrella stand in the corner. So I'm just gonna stack these real quick so I can get them out of the way. I'm so sorry. There are a couple things that I am gonna put on scroll rods because I don't like hauling them around. And one of those is another Hawk Run Hollow. Putting those aside. I'll show you that next. This is what I've been working on today. I want to get this done by the end of January because I want to do one square every month. I finished one in December. If I do one square a month, I will be done with this in November. And then I can hang it up for Christmas. So this is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I just love Christmas. It's my favorite. I did this first square in December along with all of the border. And then this month, like I said, I have a bunch of finishes, but this month I started on this square. This is the full coverage New Year's square. So I wanted to do that. I'm going to fill in the back, and then I'm going to fill in the boat and the fireworks and the words, and then fill all this black in. I love fill-in stitching. I love any stitching. I am a big liar. I love any stitching except, oh my gosh, I was stitching snowflakes the other day on a Brenda Gervais on a dark fabric, and I was like, I don't love this. And I can't ever remember thinking that. So yeah, I am using NPI, and I forgot to tell you, I'm stitching that on 40 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. I apologize for not telling you that. And I'm using the NPI silks. I got a birthday gift this year of, oops, this is an extra floss, and I bought most of this floss at Lynn's and 1-2-3 Stitch if Lynn's didn't have it. Most of this NPI floss. Oh my gosh, it's so much NPI. But I think I'm going to have a ton left, and then that's going to be awesome. And then this is what I always pull out what I'm stitching with, and I keep them in bags so they don't get muzzled around. And this is the colors for this month. I am so loving this project. It's just way different than Halloween for me. And maybe it's the NPI silks. Maybe it's the fabric. I don't know. I absolutely love flannel flower. This is my I bought a second yard of it from Hollis Hands Creates. She always has, whenever I see that she has a yard of something I like, I buy it there. Or I love when Fat Quarter Shop has a yard, because I just bought a yard of Up in the Attic 40 count for like $103. That is a screaming good deal for a yard of fabric. So yeah, I love it. Okay, so I showed you that. And just to keep going on what other WIPs I've been working on this month. This is what I wanted to finish for my blessing sampler this month, but I just didn't get to it. And it's this sampler. I'll take it out of the hoop, I'm sorry. This is such a fun sampler. I have never seen anyone stitch it or stitching it. And this is a Checkerboard House EB 1860. Look at that fun. Look at this. I cannot wait to try to stitch this. turkey stitch. This is what I have so far. The checkerboard is really a fun pattern. Yellow, cream, and red checkerboard. I'm stitching this on 40 count affogato with 103 silks. It looks great on this linen. I love anytime I see a green and pink, I'm all about that. Okay. Now, let me get going on these WIPs. This is a WIP my Aunt Laura started and I want to finish. This is Allison, a floral with optional black background sampler is what it's called. I'm calling it the Allison Randall sampler. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I love it. My Aunt Laura started it on black even weave, it looks like to me. I don't know if it's even weave or linen. I'm not sure. I think it's even weave because it looks awful even to me. It doesn't have any slubs at all. So this is what she started. I love it. So I started down here then. She finished the first little bit. Anyway, I want to get going on this. This linen isn't hard, or this fabric isn't hard to stitch on, even though it's black because it's so even. So I'm sure it is an even weave of some sort. It's very nice to stitch on. There's that. And then this isn't really a WIP because I'm not currently, I finished a little bit of it. This is Autumn salt box. No, this is one of the spring salt boxes, I'm sorry. I'm stitching all of these on one piece of fabric, this blue fabric. And I finished this one and I've got to go on to the next spring salt box. But I have them all in this one bag. So spring, and then there's summer, autumn, and winter. And again, I thought you'll just do these two of the spring and then you'll do two in the summer. I don't. I have stolen quite a bit of floss from this lump of floss though. That I do know. Borrowed it for other projects. So yeah. I can put it away now though because I got finished with some of those. Okay, next is, I'm going to take the scissors out, it's going to fall out. A Bit of Spring by Blackbird. I think, is this from Ooh La La or what is this from? I think Ooh La La. I'm not sure. One of the books. Isn't it so pretty? This is the flosses, and I'm using the flosses that are in their list, on their list. Beautiful, a lot of different pinks. And I'm stitching it on a pinkish linen. I don't know what linen this is. I'm running out of room down there, see? But that's all the further it goes, is down there. And I just love it on this pink linen. It's so beautiful. I love stitching letters as well. And this border is terrific, terrific. So this linen I got in a bunch. It's probably a 30 count, I'm thinking. 30 count linen. Maybe 28, I'm not sure. But I'm stitching with one strand of floss. And I think it looks great. 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads, and I got it in a bunch from Anita Little Stitches. She sometimes has remnants, like she'll have a yard remnant of a bunch of different threads mixed in there. So I bought the remnant, and that was one of the linens in that. Okay, random WIP change. This is a WIP from this past year's country sampler retreat. I just love Birgit Tolman. She has some awesome, fantastic, wonderful charts. And this is Sarah Fleer sampler. It's really kind of a regular looking sampler, kind of totally neutral sampler. Look at all these neutral flosses. Not really my jam, but it looks so pretty on this linen. This is flower thread on 36 count linen. And look at how pretty that looks. Look at how dimensional and full that is. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I love the coverage. So I guess if I have one thread and I'm working it on a small fabric, I enjoy that. I don't know what linen this is, to be honest. Let me look. It's real pretty. Cream and sugar. Yeah. Fiber on a whim. But I can stitch, like the last project was 1 over, maybe on a 30 count, 1 over 2. And this is 1 over 2 on a 36, but the fabric, the flower thread is much thicker. I enjoy it. I enjoy that look. I just don't like having to use 2 strands to stitch with, much like everyone else on God's green earth, you know? I mean, we like it for coverage. Do we enjoy it as a thing? I don't know. I don't know anybody that does. I've never heard anyone say, I love it. I mean, there's probably someone, but it's not me. That someone is not me. Okay, this is Rejoice Evermore. I started this after seeing Rosella's almost finished project when I met with the lovely Renee 515 Prairie Stitcher 515 and Contented Needleworker Kim. I met them at Country Sampler and we stitched together and we ate together. It was a wonderful time. And Rosella had this Rejoice Evermore sampler out. And when I say I was gobsmacked, I was astounded at the beauty of this glorious sampler that she had stitched. And I had to start it. I was just like, I've got to start that immediately. So, I mean, I guess I had this at home, but I never looked at it and thought, I got to start that right now. No, but when I saw hers, oh my gosh. So this is all the flosses that the chart calls for. I'm using whatever they say to use, I'm using it. And I'm stitching it on 40 count Grace Notes Raspberry Latte. Again, I love pink and I love pink linen. So here it is. And I usually start on the left corner. So I know I went that way and then I went down that way in the hoop. So I have the bones of the border stitched and I started the second inner border. And it's just lovely, simply lovely. This just gives me such joy to go through my samplers here and look at them and revisit what I've started, and just wanting to get back to them just makes me really happy. My husband would say, no, it doesn't. That's too much. It's too much, but it does. It makes me real happy, Andy. Real happy. Real happy, Andy. This is on 36 count Dusty Road linen. I can't show you the chart. I made a working copy of it, but I am really thinking of buying the new chart that Colorado Cross Stitch has, because this chart is so tiny. You know, it's happy hearts, right? Happy Hearts by Birds of a Feather. And this is how far I've gotten. I bought this off of not YouTube, eBay for 40 bucks because I wanted to stitch it so bad. And if I would have just been patient, I could have bought it for a lot cheaper now. But yeah, this is all of the floss that is recommended. Recommended flosses on 36 Count Dusty Road. Happy Hearts sampler, and I really enjoy it. Okay. What's this? Oh, this is something that I don't know if I'm gonna not finish or if I'm gonna finish it. I've just got some linen or some flosses languishing in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Tons of floss, overdyed floss. This is Hometown Sale by Teresa Kogut. And that's all the further I got. Because I was like, I would rather stitch a Hawk Run Hollow, you know, with all the houses. But now that I see my friend Phoebe stitching it, I really love hers. I did my own overdyed floss conversion on this. And I was just, I don't know, I just stopped. I've never done that before, but I was like, I don't want to stitch on this anymore. So I'm not sure if I'm going to, if I'm not going to stitch on it anymore, or what the deal is. But I have like silks in there. I have overdyeds, DMCs, lots of floss just languishing in this pile. So I better decide what I'm doing. Oh, and that's brandy. I could really use that for something. You got to remember this. And I don't know what fabric that is. Let me look and see if I wrote it down. Of course not. I did not. It's a 40 count something. I like that linen. It's really pretty. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna put that in my UFO pile, which means unfinished objects that I don't want to finish. This is a little Halloween kit that I started a year ago, and I never got back to it. I wanted to try a Mill Hill kit, and I just opened it and started it one day in October. And then I was like, oh, I'm not sure, am I doing it right? Because I was just holding the perforated paper in my hand, and I talked to, I met with Susan. She's a friend from Instagram. She lives in Spring Green, and we met at Lynn's of Madison, and we had a great time. We had such a good time. And Susan X Stitch, I think is her name. And she said, no, you hold it in your hand. That's how you do it. So yeah, I've just been holding this in my hand and stitching. And it is Opera House. So cute. So anyway, I started that. I wanted to try beading. Haven't even gotten to the beading yet. But yeah. So that's it. It's kind of hard to separate out these threads. They're like, yeah, the light orange and the dark orange and the medium orange. And I was like, gosh, is this the medium orange? It was really hard to decipher, in my opinion. It was a pain. But, you know, orange for orange, is it going to matter? I don't think so. Look at, this is my bag. It's a Temu. This is what I use for project bags, whatever bag I can find. Oh, this is something I just started. This past December. I stitched this and up in the attic, and my daughter loved it and took it. So I thought, oh, I want to stitch it for myself. So this is the best time of the year. The best time of the year. And it says, have a holly jolly Christmas. I have the original chart up in my big pile right there. Whenever I make a hard copy of my chart to work off of, a working copy, I just throw the chart up there, and I never file them. So this is on Murky. I thought I would really love that. Can't really see the green very well on there, but I'm still going to finish it. It'll be fun. If I don't like it, I'll give it to one of my other kids. They'll like it. I think it'll show up once I have the white and the red and Santa on there and reindeer. So yeah, I'm using mostly the colors that are called for. I just changed the deer to Chris's Bonbon. That's what I did last time too. Oh, this is something I haven't worked on in forever. Poor Ren is never going to have a stocking. This is Shepherd's Bush Roma stocking. So pretty. Using mostly Weeks Dye Works threads. And it's the pearl cotton, number 5 pearl cotton. And this is where I am at. I did finish the sheep. I love that look. Look at that. It's so fun. And I'm stitching this on 20 count natural brown linen. Yeah. Once I finish it, I'm going to ask the lady at Witchery Stitchery to finish it for me. I don't want to finish it. All right. This is another project from Country Sampler. And this is Manor at Swan Lake. By Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And this uses DMC and Weeks Dye Works. And Classic Colorworks. Lots of DMC. I'm surprised that they stood for that at the Country Sampler. They like overdyes, but they'll accept a few DMC, I guess. So anyway, these are the colors, very autumnal in my opinion. And what is the linen? Winter Brew by R&R. And I started it. I started the house. I started right in the middle on the house, right in the dormer. This is a great project. With these projects, I don't know if I said it before, but I decided I was going to start every one of them because as long as I had them started, I could go back to them. I wanted to kit them all or start using them all right at the event so I could keep working on them. But so far, I haven't kept working on even one of them. So, yeah. What is this? Oh, this is the second part of my garden club garden club stitching. I'm stitching each one of these, so it's not really a WIP, but it is, I'm stitching each one of these on a separate piece of linen. So this is 35 count gray by Weeks. I'm using all of their old linen, the 35 count. So I don't want to, I didn't like the coverage on the 30 count that I had bought already. So I'm working on the second one, Apple Orchard. And there, I finished the first one, by golly. So this is the second one, but it's not really a WIP but it is kind of. Not really, but yeah. Oh, this is something I started last past year. I was in the Artsy Housewives Patreon for a little while. And I really like the colors in this sampler. This is, oops. I dropped my magnet. I have one of these in every bag, a magnet with a schneedle. And then I do steal from each. I steal from them sometimes, so then I get somewhere with a project and I'm like, oh, I have no needle. Great. Within a Dream by the Artsy Housewife. This is so fun. This is super cool. I love it. And I've got her floss recipe that I'm using. And what am I stitching it on? 40 count overdyed by me. So this is the start. Isn't that so pretty? So this is like a brown linen that I dyed when Phoebe was here. The length isn't cut, but the width, it's cut to width. But I just love that. I love that geometric border. After a while, I got a lot of geometric borders, and I'm like, I don't need that many geometric borders. So then I was like, out. But I stitched on that for a couple of nights and then put it away. As I do, onto more things. Okay, 2 more in this basket, and then I'm done with this basket. But don't worry, you guys, there's 3 more. Oh, this I've worked on this year. This is my church stitch. Kim is flabbergasted when I say I work on things in church. She's like, oh no, she's not having it. But I do. This is Bertha Mae Brown sampler. Isn't this the cutest thing you've ever seen? I love it. Somebody recently finished this. And I want to finish it too. I love Chessie and me. Look at this cutie. Now I've gone over on this side over here. I've made mistakes. It looks fine. It looks great. Super cute. And this is on a beautiful linen. What is it? Gold? Old gold. Yep. 36 count fiber on a whim. Old gold. This is from the club. I belong to that club from Country Sampler. It's the Flosses. What is it? Something in Time. Yeah. Oopsie, I gotta put my flosses away. Heidi, there's only a very few flosses that this uses. These pinks and greens. Look at that. That's so cute. I love that that's all the flosses that it needs. And then this is one that I barely started on. But I really wanted to use this linen. And I thought this would be perfect on it. This is Life is the Flower by Teresa Kogut, her Patreon. Life is the flower for which love is the honey. Now, I don't know what that means, but... Okay. How pretty is this fabric? This is Silk Weaver fabric. I love her fabric. Now it's gems, but she had a really unusual modeling. It's got blue and gray in it up here. Really cool patterns on her modeled fabrics. I bought every single fabric from Lynn's that I could that was silk weaver. And I don't know exactly what that's called, but I do know I have another little bitty chunk of it, so I still have it to use. I think maybe this is fawn. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to finish this basket up here. This is a whole bunch of stuff that some of it I haven't stitched on in over a year. That's because I did a 12 by 12 and started a bunch of things last year. I only started like, I think 8 things, but I haven't even gone back to those things yet. So I just keep starting new things and enjoying the things that I love to stitch. This is one of those things that I love to stitch. This is Big Ann Dale, Big and Beautiful. I'm stitching this with Phoebe. And then Michael from Davis Quilting Stitching joined us. If you guys aren't watching Michael, he is a delight. He's got a lovely accent, and we have befriended him. He is our new best friend. So we do Zoom stitching now with him as well on Ann Dale. This is our huge project. So we've got to work on this. We've got to find time to work on this, much like we did with Kim with Louisa Barney. This is how big this is. I'm working on 46 count linen, and look at how humongous this is. I have all of the borders stitched, all 3 of them, the bones, and that's it. The 2 reds are done, but this is just the bones of this. I'm using overdyed, hand-dyed floss from Vicki Clayton Silks. And I did do the comparison of the silks in my last floss tube. It's just crazy how these are. This is what the area I'm working on right now. I'm filling this in behind the swans or the geese, whatever they are. There's the egg. So yeah, this is on 46 count marbled pointer by XU Designs. And I love it. It's such a beautiful fabric. Her fabrics are stellar. Look at that modeling. Love it. Okay, so anyway, I'm working on her regularly on Big Ann. Huge Ann. All right, now, oops, I forgot to put this away on Ann. I have to do it or I will never find it again. Okay, this is for a friend of mine, and it's a WIP because it just is, but it has some naughty language in it. Eat a bag of candy, it says. Go eat a bag of candy. Anyway, I'm finishing this for her, and she's going to hang it on the wall of her work. So I'm finishing that for my friend Kaylee. And using DMCs. And it's 2 flosses, 2 strands. I started this way long ago. It's Ada that I overdyed. And I just discovered that I love stitching on 2 strands of floss on Ada, 14 count Ada. It's very fun with DMCs. Very fun and chonky. I enjoy it. So I lied earlier when I said I didn't, because I do on that Ada. This is Winter Rose Manor. By Brenda. That's all we need to call her, Brenda. I'm almost done filling in the house. I started on the house while I started on the border, and then I went up to the house. After I fill in the border and the windows and the roof, then I'm going to move to the border. After I finish filling up the house and the windows, you know, with the curtains. Yeah, that is one full coverage, big old house. And I'm stitching this on it's not Brenda's Brew. This is, I don't even know. I don't know. Brown. Oh, yes, I do know. It's that, I can't remember the name of it, you guys. I'm so sorry. But it is, it's got a number and brown in it, in the name of it. That should tell you everything you need to know about what that linen is. All right, this is Deck the Coop Pin Keep. I have the, oh look, my glasses. When I travel with a piece, I put these little glasses in there. I know Phoebe is done with this. 18th Century Rook. That's the name of that fabric. But look at, so I've got the border done. I'm working on the bottom. I mean the outline of the border done. I love this project. It's so sweet. Yeah, and that. I don't know what the linen is for this. Probably the same thing. It looks similar. That's why I'm thinking. Yeah, I went through a rash of times where I didn't keep track of my fabric. I'm sorry. Okay. This is 'Tis the Season. I'm using Vicki Clayton silks. When I use silks, I put them in a little bag. I think I've told you that a million times. I love her conversion. It's so cute. This is 'Tis the Season. I'm doing the French lettering. My daughter graduated with a degree in French. This is on 40 count affogato. I think the last time I worked on this, we were in France last year, so it's been over a year. So I need to get this out again. It's time for you, bird. Oh boy, things are falling off. Those are kitted projects, people. I think I need to start more things, is what it's saying. Start me. Okay, I will. And then one more project in this little container. These are little travel projects that I have in like this little guy right here. So if I want to go somewhere, I have something ready with a scissors in it and a needle and floss. So I always have like one of these in there. These are the nicest little cheap scissors ever. And then I have a needle on a magnet. And then the floss and this is Reflet de Soie Coquelicots. Phoebe and I started this together when we were in France. I'm stitching mine with Soie d'Alger threads. I started in the middle. Phoebe started on, I don't know where she started, one side, a different side. She's further than I am. But isn't that so pretty? Oh, it's so pretty. This is on 37 count Russian tea cake, I can tell. You're so gorgeous, Coquelicots. Get back in your container, Missy. Okay. This is another one I worked on in France. This is Summer Jubilee. I don't have a cover to show you. I'm really sorry. I just made because it's from a book. Stitching this on a darker linen, and I'm not sure how well it's coming out because it is darker. I think you have to go on a real dark linen if you want it to really pop. But it looks pretty. It looks super pretty. So this is a 40 count linen. And I don't know what kind it is, but it's all of the original floss recipe. 18th century blackbird. That doesn't sound right. But I don't know to save my soul what it is. This is two different pinks in here, by the way. Does it look like it? No, it does not. This is an outlining pink in here, and the pink outline here. Very annoying that it's the same color pink. It calls for old brick. Oh no, wood rose and old brick, and they're basically, they look the same, stitched on this pattern anyway. So I'm thinking of pulling that out and stitching around it with something else, but maybe I'll just do a couple of back stitches, I don't know, to differentiate it. This is Elizabeth Tooley. This is my last project from this this country sampler get together. Elizabeth Tooley from Violets and Verses. Isn't that cute? She stitched hers 2 threads over 2 on 36 count linen, and I tried that on the drum. So first I did 1 over 2, and that's this. That's good coverage, right? But here's 2 over 2, and I love it. Look at that. That is so cool looking. Looks amazing. So I'm just doing this on the drum, 2 over 2. I'm not going to do that on the sampler because I don't want to. So I'd like to get this done before I go to Dallas this summer. So I need a little tiny piece of linen so I can do this 2 over 2 for the top, but maybe I'll just stick it on the top and, you know, never mind the consequences. But you got a little thing for the top. This is how big it has to be. I wonder if I could just put it like this on another piece of linen and just stitch it on there. I don't know. But then you got some material to finish it and a little key and a rope. So cute. It's going to look great. But yeah, I'm not going to stitch it. And it's on Desert Taipan, 36 count Desert Taipan by Fox and Rabbit. What a great fabric. So if I have extra fabric, I will. This is the drum that it's going to make. Doesn't that look cool? With 2 threads? I think it does. So anyway, but I'm not doing that on the whole sampler, even though it looked amazing. Amazing. With 2/2. I didn't even make a working copy of this. I need to make a working copy immediately. Sorry for the reach again. This is my next project. Oh, I haven't worked on this in forever either. After Katie Strachan started her, she's amazing. After she started her egg kit, I mean, I love the look of this sampler. Egg kit, this thing by Modern Folk Embroidery. I got a wild hair to do it on a little tiny count. So this is a huge slab of that linen, right? And that's what I've gotten done so far. It is really nice linen, and I dyed it myself, a gray. And then I'm using 103 floss. I wanted a little better coverage than Soie Surfine. So I've got a whole bunch of 103. This is Legacy Linen, Castor Sugar, 5363. And this is 103 671. So it's like a purpley black. That's what it looks like to me, or a gray black maybe. So I haven't done any more on this, and it's easy to see, but it's just I haven't done it. And I am going to try to use a small hoop on this because one of the girls from Australia recommended that. A floss tuber from Australia, that you use a small hoop if you're going to be stitching on a tiny count, like a 56 count. So, and I tried that with this and it really helped. Use a small tiny hoop. Yeah, or I could put it in my frame and really stretch it, but I need to get across the top first. I haven't even wanted to work on this though. Well, this is one of my starts that I did last year for the 12 by 12. It wasn't really a 12. This is the Tyndale Sister Samplers by Birgit Tolman, The Wishing Thorn. And this is a piece of unknown, I don't know the size of this. Let me see. Oh no, I do. It's Saju off-white linen. And it is 32 count, it says, right? It's a 30 count. I'm not sure. Anyway, I started the border. And I'm using flower thread, Ginny Thompson flower thread. This is the one that, one of the ones that Brenda, the cereal starter, finished. I believe she finished both of them. So anyway, I love these. I'd love to work more on this because I really enjoy flower thread a lot. Get in there. I think I have both samplers in there so I can stitch them both on that linen. I'm not sure. is another one that I started, 12 by 12. This is the Garden Glade. My carriage house samplings. And I'm stitching it with NPI threads. And this is my small start. The bird flying to the tree. What fabric is this? Let me look. It's R&R Espresso, 40 count R&R. It's really pretty linen. I love a good coffee dye, don't you? Okay, this is another start that I'd love to work on right now, right this very now, you guys. This is Chessie and Me, Across the Sea sampler. Look at this gorgeousness. Specialty stitches though, I'll tell you what. I got not very far on this baby. I'm stitching this on Inferno, 36 count Inferno by Silk Weaver. Look at how, this is gonna be gorgeous on this linen. I don't know, maybe it goes this way, probably. But look at these colors on this linen. That is gonna be great. I love it. This is one I am hot to trot to stitch, but it kind of slows me down when I see the, look at this linen, you guys. I gotta show it to you again. Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful? Silk Weaver Inferno. Oh my goodness sakes. Yeah. I'm gonna stitch on this real bad. I started and I'm so slow because the start is 4-sided stitch. And I'm just not very quick at that. Even though it's easy, it's not a hard stitch. I'm just not quick. Oh, here's another one I haven't touched in forever. Phoebe Moonshine Stitchery just finished this. Halloween Quaker. I dyed this linen myself. I think you can tell. This is two strands. Over 2. And I just am barely started. This is one where I started really when I was a early stitcher. And it's just, I had to rip stuff out like a million times. I'm just not very good at 2 strands, and it was when I was a new stitcher, you know, so I haven't even gone back to it yet. Anyway, it's got really pretty flosses. I've got all the extras, and I didn't even know that you're not supposed to do it long ways like this. I have to now make them go like this because you're supposed to just take 2 strands of overdyes. That's how dumb I was when I started this project, you know? So anyway, that's that one. Oh, this is one I think I'm going to, I haven't decided yet. I might UFO this. I'm just not motivated to stitch on it. This is an early project of mine. I started on this with Phoebe. It's a calendar. It's really cute. I over-dyed this linen myself, but I think this is gonna be UFO because I never wanna stitch on it. I'm never motivated to stitch on it, and this isn't really my style of stitching anymore. It would be cute for my granddaughter though. That's why I don't think I have, I think she would like this on Halloween. Maybe I won't then. She would love it if I stitched it for her. All right. That settles that. I can't throw anything away. No throwing anything away. This is a project that I finished on Ada, and I liked it so much that I wanted to start it on darker linen. It's with parchment, onyx, and persimmon. That's the only 3 threads that it uses. And it is Primrose Cottage Stitches. Happy Halloween. I stitched it on Ada before, and now I'm stitching it on this little 40 count Mayflower Mocha. It's going to be adorable. Tiny little pillow. Oh my gosh, look at the size of this needle I have in here. It's gigumbo for that little tiny 40 count. It's a giant needle. Okay, last project from part 1, and then I'm going to have to, I'll cut it off and I'll do a part 2 of my WIP braid. Oh, maybe I can get it all done. Let's see. Okay, so this is Louisa Barney. I have the book, but I also have a copy made of the book. A working copy. This was converted to 100 threes by Needle in a Haystack of California. So I've got, they converted this to 100 threes for me. It's not a very close conversion, but I'm happy with it. It's really pretty. This is where I am so far. I wanted to start on the words so I could travel. And I've got the bird done and all the dots around the bird and that, and I'm gonna rip this out. Susan X Stitch on Instagram, she is told me about a tool to rip this out, and I cannot wait to get it. I ordered it from a hobby house, and yeah, because I don't want to do this black border around there. This is such a pretty border. I don't need this border. I've never said that before in my life, but I don't need it. And this is on 37 count, just a plain 37 count linen, I believe. Yeah, Legacy linen, and it's, what's the name of it? Russian tea cake. Again, Russian tea cake. Oh no, it's not. Look at that. It's Zweigart. It's just plain Zweigart. It's got the orange stripe. Silly Heidi. And here's all the threads. I have them in this giant case. I need to transfer these to a smaller case. I mean, it's huge. Just huge. Okay, I'm going to try to keep going. I only have 2 more bins left, you guys. This is a long time WIP. It's been going on forever. I love it. It's still going to stay. This is 32 count linen, pearl gray. This is another 2/2 project that I started back in the day. This is Christmas in Pink, and I don't have a cover for this either, cover art. And it's by Quarry, Yvette Quarry. Oh, yes, I do. I have the original thing here. That was just my hard copy, my working copy. There, isn't it cute? I love this because I love pink. And it's all DMC. And I'm stitching it on this pearl gray, 32 count pearl gray. There we go. That's that. Did I show you the threads? I think I did. Lots of pink and green, which really speaks to me. I'm gonna have to do a part 2, you guys, because I have a lot of projects here. This will be my last one, okay? So this is something that I am considering starting over, but I don't know if I want to. This is the huge project. Dutch Beauty sampler. When I saw this, I fell in love, and I don't know why. I think it was the swan in the middle. But I love the trees too. It's just really pretty. And I've got a huge piece, a huge half of vintage meadow rue. And that's all I have done right there. But I don't like using just DMC, you know? But it's really pretty DMC colors, you know? They're really nice colors. There's nothing wrong with them. The only one that's not DMC is Oatmeal, because the other color was ghosting on here. This 842 was ghosting on there, so I don't want to ghost. So I'm using Oatmeal instead, a little lighter color. All right. I think that's about it. Vintage pearled barley. I'm sorry. Vintage pearled barley. I apologize. 40 count. Okay. I think that's it for part 1. So I'll come back for part 2. In a little bit, I'll be dressed the same.